This is part 3 of my Z teardown. What I'm going to be doing in this one is mainly pulling off the front suspension, and then I gotta really sneeze. Bless me. Anyway, that being said, I found out that the front of the car got a little bit light, so I decided to take a little bit different course. Well, I'm going to call it a night for tonight. As you can see, I kind of got a little bit stuck on this control arm here. The bolt and the bushing are spinning kind of funny, and the bolt's just being stubborn, so I'll get that off, tomorrow or the next day. The other thing that I found that I'm a little bit bummed about is, as I mentioned, it's got these Tilton cylinders on here, which are really nice, but upon looking inside there, which really isn't a surprise, they're pretty nasty, so not going to be able to reuse those, unfortunately. Other than that, most of the brake lines are out. I ended up just cutting them because I'm not going to reuse any of that stuff anyway. In fact, one of them rusted through and broke. And right now, just letting the remaining brake fluid drain overnight, and then I'll get back at it tomorrow. So, I was about ready to rip the front right suspension off, but then I realized that with 2 fingers I could do this. And I decided that I should probably take some weight out of the back before, which I haven't actually gone through the back of the car yet. As I unload this, we'll just kind of go through this and see if there's anything cool back here that I haven't found yet. So, starting with these Panasports, you may notice that these things are cracked pretty good, like all the way through there. So, in multiple places. So these are pretty much trash, but they might, make cool stools or tables, bases, something like that. This one's not nearly as bad, but bented pretty good. Alright, looks like we got some spare brake drums, which will be gotten rid of anyway. Got another one. Spare rotor. What is this? Well, this was a notebook of some kind, obviously. It's a little trash now, but maybe this may have even been the co-driver's little notebook that they kept, not sure, but yeah. Alright, so we got here. Ooh! This is actually something I'm interested in. I don't know how many miles this car has on it, no idea. But according to this odometer here, possibly somewhere around 38,000, at least that's when they pulled this out of the car, so maybe whatever rally miles it has on it. So probably, I don't know, my guess is maybe 45 to 50,000 miles, somewhere in there. So that's pretty neat. Got some original AC ducting here. In fact, we'll just lay this out in here. Got a spare pair of half shafts, which are probably going to get converted to CV anyway. Got, let's see, original brake master cylinder, and possibly clutch master, not sure. Traction control rod. This looks like a spare strut top hat. Got in here. It's all wrapped up in original paper and everything. What is this? Wow. I believe this is a stock, like, either window regulator or door lock actuator. One of the two. Can't really tell without pulling this all the way out, but that's pretty neat. Don't think I'll end up using it, though. See, more AC ducting. Got some braided steel line that's probably not any good anymore. Ah, hey, look at that. So just found this piece of Lexan here, which I noticed that there's Lexan on this side, but there's glass on the other, so I guess they just never got around to putting this one in, but good to know that I have a stencil at least to make a new one here, since this one's kind of faded out. Let's see if we got anything else interesting in here. So we got another strut top hat, steering rack bushings, and This looks like it's probably the speedometer cable there. I think that pretty much wraps it up. One thing that's kind of neat is there's this toolbox back here that's actually been bolted to the frame, so definitely going to reinstall that back in there once I get everything cleaned up. I think that's a pretty cool feature. I think that's about all that's in the back here, so I'm going to go ahead, pull this stuff out and stack it, and then I'll get working on the front suspension again. Maybe pull the rear tires too, depending on how light it still feels. After feeling the front of the car again, it was still too light for my liking, so I pulled off those rear tires and then it felt perfect. Unfortunately, I ran out of time, so I wasn't able to pull off the front left suspension, and I'll be doing that in the next one. I also realized that I ran out of time with my voiceover, and now you guys are just staring at blackness, but that's okay because what I'm saying is important. Just kidding, because I was actually done. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.